What is going on, everybody? Nathan Valley, how are you, brother?
I am excellent, man. I'm doing fantastic. How
I,
you doing,
I,
brother?
Dude, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excellent as well. We have a great call for you guys today. This is basically where we call sellers live. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nathan Payne. I've been in the business about 6 years, wholesaled nationwide, fix and flip, done it all, sub two, creative finance, you name it. And what we're here to do is show you guys what the business really looks like and how to take a deal from start to finish. Now, so we've actually been able to on this call, if you have seen other episodes, is negotiate a deal live, get it under contract. And Lane is on with us this week, but he's able to dispo that thing for $30,000. We did that. So if you're like, well, how does this work? You can watch it. That's who I am, Nathan Valley. I went a little bit over who I was. Nathan Valley, what's up, man? Who are you?
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Nathan Valley. Man, been in real estate for I don't know, 4-ish, 5-ish years. Done over 100 contracts in a single year. Some of you might have seen a 30-day challenge I did a while ago, to where I picked totally brand new market where I had no contacts, no resources, nothing. And my goal is to do a deal in 30 days. And we did a $20,000 deal. And I only did it for like 2 to 3 hours, Monday through Friday. Pretty crazy. And I streamed it all from this camera. So that's a little bit about me. But enough about that, man. Let's get to these sellers.
Let's get into the plan. So why would you watch this? If you guys are okay, now I know who you guys are. I feel okay about listening to you guys, but why am I watching this? Again, I kind of said it a little earlier. We're here to show you guys what this business looks like, the ins and outs and the realness, right? Because a lot of the times you guys just see flashy checks, but and everyone's saying, hey, it's really easy. Well, whether you think it's easy or not, you're about to find out what it looks like. So that's our plan, to just show you. And our promise is always, we're going to make some calls. We're not going to hide behind the camera and, make you guys think we know what we're talking about. We're going to show you. All right. So we got some calls to make. If you're watching this live, we appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all those things that actually get this in front of more people. Because for some reason, it doesn't go very far. I don't know why. The algorithm, I'm just being real with you guys. Like, that's just how it is. So if you like it, it tells the algorithm, hey, these guys, give them a shot. Let's get in front of some more people.
I think it's the algorithms, man. They're like, 2 Nathans. They're like, nah, that can't be real. They're like, it's a bot. It's a deep fake.
Dude, I was about to say the valet service. We should be calling you that. Like when you call the sellers, you're about to give them the valet service. That was really funny. Do you like that, man? I feel like it's a good nickname. Give them the valet service.
Maybe. I don't know. It'd have to grow on me a little bit.
All right.
Or we could be, so the name's actually pronounced Valley. Bro, we could be like the Valley of Pain.
The Valley of Pain.
I don't know if a seller's like, oh yeah, like that sounds like what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking to get crushed in this valley. All right. Yeah, I know it's not Nathan Valley service. Yeah, that doesn't work. Valet, but anyway.
Look, guys, what we do promise is real conversations with real sellers. I promise you're going to get a lot out of it. The downside, you got to bear with the corny jokes. I apologize, but that's just, it's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, guys, like if you want realness, this is real, and it isn't pretty all the time. All right, I'll be real with you on that one. So, all right, Nate. So I know you got a call. Tell us a little bit about it. I know you can look at the address. You don't have to drop all the facts because we don't know who's watching this live. We want you guys sniping the address and skip tracing, even though there's enough to go around. But
yes, let me take a peek. So I have not looked at this deal at all. I know it's in Georgia. Let me.
That's the beautiful thing, though, Nate. You can tell everybody that's watching this, he hasn't looked at this deal at all. Okay. So what the heck do you do when you haven't looked at a deal at all? Go through the process and I'll write it down because I think it's important for people to know. You got a lead. What the heck do you do?
Yeah. And guys, so this is an inbound lead. Now, typically the only thing I'm looking up, I'm not comping this. I'm not spending like 10 hours looking at this thing. Let's see. Do I have the right address? I think it's.
By the way, Lane did talk to her a little bit, so you can at least, when you start the conversation, just be like, "Hey, sorry if I, repeat anything. I'm just trying to get the story." But I know you talked to Lane.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I'm gonna make her tell me the whole story all over again. So I'm just trying to figure out, is this? So it's 4-bed, 3-bath owner. I just like to know a little bit about the property, because the one thing you don't want to do is, if these are leads that are already generated, right, and it's not the first time they're talking to somebody, you don't want to go into the call completely unprepared, where you're like, what's the address again? You're like, it's a house, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that because that'll break rapport with the seller. So I'm just taking a quick peek here. New roof, new AC, new windows, not listed. Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's jump into this thing.
So Nate,
I-
you're saying you're verifying the information before you call. That's pretty much it. You're not running comps, not diving in.
Yeah, like exactly what I just did, guys. I mean, I think the 30, 60 seconds. Max is what we're spending on that.
Good.
So
30, 60 seconds.
I'm gonna use my personal cell here. Let's see where.
Why would you use your personal cell when you can just use the CRM? Curious.
One, I don't have the CRM on my phone, so that is a thing. But two,
you can call from the computer. Has a little dial button.
I could. I like using my cell phone. And it depends. I'm not doing this at scale, right? If I am doing something to where like a dialer would be a lot more effective, I would use that. But also, it's this is real cell phone, real number, so the chances of it actually going through, not popping up as spam, connecting with the person are going to be higher than if I'm using like a dialer or a what's the name of like a paid number service.
Makes sense. Yeah. That's the issue with a lot of the CRMs is they immediately just trigger spam sometimes. I don't know why.
Okay, there's her number. All right, let's type this up.
All right, folks, he's calling live. Hope she answers. Hold it up to that mic, by the way. Yeah, there you go. You know how it goes.
I got. Come on.
All right, my bad.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
We're gonna call her right back.
Bro, I don't even know if people check their voicemails. I've never leave voicemails, really. I know we should, but
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Vera, this is Nathan. You had spoke with Lane a little while ago about a property you were considering selling. I was just calling to follow up that conversation. This is my cell phone. Give me a call or shoot me a text when you get the chance. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay.
excellent voicemail.
So, yep. And then
So, this is a common occurrence, right? Like, I want everyone to watch this to be like, hey, this happens to everybody. Like, people just don't answer their phones like they used to. And I'm assuming
and I will, so I will give kind of a a different point of view. So I disagree a little bit on with voicemails. I've actually found voicemails. When I call twice, leave a voicemail and send a text message. And if I do that 2 or 3 times in a day, I'll it's very common for me to get some type of response.
Uncommon or very common?
Callback,
very common to get a you're saying very common to get a response?
In my experience.
Okay. I agree if you couple it with the text. I don't know how much I think the voicemail does, but it doesn't matter. Every point of contact is good. So he's sending a text. We're going to call another lead. If you guys are watching this live, give us a little comment. Give us a little shout out. We love doing deals nationwide. So if you're ever, if you let us know where you're watching from, maybe we can do a deal together in the future. Who knows? If you need help from us, that's what we do. We help people do deals all over the country. So Nate, tell people what you're saying in that text.
Yeah. So,
What are you saying?
Sorry, guys. I can't do two things at once. So what I
Most
did was
people
I typed
can't.
up
Most
the text
people
message to Vera. And what it says is, "Hi Vera, this is Nathan Valley. You had spoke with Lane about a property you were considering selling. Are you available to chat?" Question mark. Straight to the point. I say who I am, right? First and last name, right? And guys, don't feel weird about giving first and last name. If you honestly are scared to give somebody your name and phone number, probably doing something wrong, right? Not meaning you're doing something bad, but it's like, okay, you're afraid of people knowing you for some reason. Right now, to be fair,
in
I
the
felt the
wrong
same way in the
business.
beginning, right? When I was doing traditional wholesaling and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I'm like, yeah, I can buy cash and all this stuff. I used to feel the same way, but there's a better way, guys. So, are you
100%.
available to chat? And then send. And the cool thing is, because again, this is one of the nice things when you're using your cell phone, blue text message.
It's real.
So
They don't think it's a bot.
immediate trust goes up as far as they're like, huh, okay, it seems like a real person. We'll see if she calls or texts back.
I like that. So I want to
And
say
then
something.
also, just one thing I wanted to throw in there on the voicemail. Did you guys notice kind of the pitch, the tone of the voice? Hey, Vera, right? Like really light tone, energetic, upbeat,
Happy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Happy, very friendly, and then also short and to the point. I didn't want to give too many details, right? I'm not saying, yeah, I was calling because I wanted to go over a call with you to talk more about the property, get the condition, talk numbers. I don't want to do that, right? We want to talk about the vacation, not the journey, not the trip, right? I don't want to talk about how we got to go through security and then get on a plane and then sit next to somebody that like smells bad and then like hit turbulence midway and then we like, have the bumpy landing and then we get to the Bahamas. No, I'm just, hey, Vera, I'm calling about us going to the Bahamas. Call me back. Thanks. Bye.
What did you say?
What's
the equivalent of the Bahamas? I forgot what you said in your voicemail.
So I said, hey, Vera, this is Nathan. I just explained because at first she is going to be like, who the heck is Nathan? Because my name has not been brought up at all. So, hey, Vera, this is Nathan. I was calling. You had previously spoke with Lane about a property you were considering selling.
Got it. There it is.
Give me a call back when you get a chance.
Got it.
Talk
That's
to you
your
soon. Thanks,
equivalent. Because check this out. I agree with you. I agree. I've actually been reading this book. I got it at the Goodwill, bro. The Goodwill's got some freaking great deals. The 10 natural laws of successful time and life management, proven strategies for increasing productivity and inner peace.
Bro,
So
you probably got that thing for like a nickel.
Bro, you see that? Where's it say?
Got a deal.
$2.
Nice.
So what this guy talks about, he talks about time robbers. He talks about people that give interruptions, and he talks about phones being time robbers. Basically, the phone is like, hey, pay attention to me. When anyone calls you, you don't have to feel like that's urgent. It doesn't need to be like, oh, I need to answer that. That's vital to my success or my life. So really, like, I don't really answer my phone, bro, to be honest, because that's just an interruption that's going to throw me off what I'm doing. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. So when you left that voicemail, you let her know who you were, you let her know what you were calling about and what, like, to call you back. Same with the text. So it's the same thing. Like all that is super, super important, because if you're just like, hey, Vera, call me back, like she doesn't know who the heck you are. She doesn't. And I actually got a call from Merrill Lynch today in Utah. He's like, this is John from the Merrill Lynch, and give me a call back. I'm like, bro, I don't know Merrill Lynch. I don't know what the heck you want to talk to me about. I think that's like a hedge fund, or that might be like some sort of funding agency or financial institution. So anyway, I'm not calling you back. But if he was like, hey, this is John from Merrill Lynch, you have $1 million waiting for you here that you didn't know about, I'm calling, bro. So do you know what I'm saying? Like time, you have to let people, time is valuable. And if you're wasting people's time, just get out of here. You're wasting my time. You got to let people know what you're talking about. You don't have to talk like Nate said about the stinky guy or the vacation or going too depth. Let them know. And that's the same way with sales. Like when you call someone on the phone, what's the first thing when someone calls you, Nate, you're thinking in your head, what does this person want?
Yeah. Who is this? What do they want?
What do you want? So if you call somebody and you're just like, hey, are you selling the house on 123 Main Street? And they're like, who are you? Why are you calling? You got to set the right expectations. You have to start with the end in mind and let people know, hey, the reason for the call is I'm doing this. And by the end of this call, we should hopefully know if I can buy your house or not. That's it. That's why we're talking. And if we're on the same page, let's continue. If not, then we don't need to have this conversation.
Now, guys, these are leads that, again, they're inbound leads. So they've already either filled out a form or spoken to somebody in some way, shape, or form, and basically raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in selling my property and I'm interested in a cash offer. So it's not like an initial cold call, right? We're kind of at that next step to where we're going to have like a real conversation with them. And in that conversation, the first part, right, when in that negotiation, in that closer's conversation, the first part we want to do is set expectations, right? So there's 3 things that come into that: time frame, agenda, outcome. How long is this going to be? What the heck are we going to be doing? Like, what are we going to be talking about? And then what are like the outcomes of this call? And the reason why setting expectations is so important is because when we set the expectations, okay.
Ooh, I feel comfortable now.
It relieves the pressure. They're like, okay, I know what's going on. It doesn't seem scary. I'm great with that. And guys, the way I set expectations is I say, hey, Mr. and Ms. Seller. So what I like to do is real simple. It takes about maybe 15-ish minutes. We'll chat a little bit about the property, right? Agenda. We'll chat a little bit about the property, condition, roof, things like that. Real simple stuff. If you don't know, it's totally okay. Don't worry. And at the end of the conversation, if it sounds like we might be a good fit for you, great. We can chat a little bit more about what the next steps would look like. And if not, that's totally okay too. No harm, no foul. At the very least, I've been doing this for a while. I can probably at least help point you in the right direction. Fair enough? And then they're like, yes, right? That's exactly how I set expectations, right? Did you see how I hit those 3 things? Time frame, agenda, outcome, bam. Seller knows what's going on. They're like, let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
I love
it.
it.
Hit him with, what's the lowest you'll take? No, I'm kidding. Don't do that, guys.
You know what's awesome? Well, actually, I haven't been seeing RJ Bates like that. He just, in the very beginning of the call, I would assume after the expectation's been set, he's just like, so what are you looking to get for the property? That's how he words it. I've never just straight up done that. I don't think it's a bad thing. I've heard his philosophy of like knocking them and just being real, just like, hey, up front, just knock them off, let them set the anchor. Now, I don't think if they say it up front or not, it really matters. Like they might.
I like, I do. So one thing is different people have different styles. I definitely have a very different style from RJ Bates. Not saying one's better than the other. I just, they're different. I think there's also a preference on kind of, who you are, what you personally prefer, and like what kind of works better for who you are.
Yeah.
But for me, I do like to ask price early, but I don't, so early I might ask a little bit about condition, then I'll throw in there, hey, let me ask, did you have an idea as to what you would want for the house?
Right.
Oh, I want blank number. Okay, cool. Got it. Now the roof you were saying, right. And I'll go right. And I just take whatever number that is, no matter how high or how low, I just take it, put it on the shelf, walk away from it.
Got it.
Right. And then I'll come back to it much later on in the conversation. But I like to get just a ballpark idea, but I don't want to have that deep conversation on price right then and there. I'll just kind of ask, get a feeler, and then move on.
Yeah. Because my experience is 99% of the time, 99% of the, most of the time, they want what Zillow says. They look at
at least that's what they say
initially, right?
And guys, everybody wants his estimate, right? Everybody wants
unless they've gotten beat up a lot, right? And they're on the tail end of getting beat up a lot. Then like, look, I've been lowballed. Just what can you? Anyway, all right, man. So you check out another one. This is one Lane texted me about. He said, Lou.
Yeah, Vera didn't text me back yet.
That's fine. So go Lutricia. LUTRI. Just search that in the CRM. Guys, the reason why we're not sharing the CRM is when you go live, a lot of time, if you share too much information, they block the stream because they're like, hey, you can't be sharing all that info of people. So
it's so weird. Like you can't put up someone else's like social security number.
Right? That's so weird.
Guys, I told you, corny jokes, guys. We're kidding. We're kidding.
They're loving it.
What
The millions and millions of fans are loving it.
where can I find it?
In the search, there says opportunities in search.
Yeah, but it doesn't pop up when I type it out.
You type in LUTRI. Okay, well, that's not what, type in where, WARE as the last name.
What was it?
WARE.
No.
Yeah, I don't see it in there either. Hold on, let's see.
He's lying.
Lying piece of trash.
He's trying to get me to call his grandma or something.
Yeah. Let's see, Luke. This might be somebody that he's working on in a different CRM. Let's see. I can just, I'll just send you the number here in the private chat, and then you can call.
Cool. Can you just send me the address?
You're gonna have to do this one blind, no address.
Oh, dude, love it. So no, I actually think this is really good. Guys, if you literally just gave me a phone number and like, dude, there's a person at the end of this number that has a property that they want to sell. How do I do that? And guys, it's by just being a human being. Now, how, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but
Lutricia?
I don't know.
That's it. I would assume. I actually can give you the address, but
bro, don't. It's like a challenge now. It's like,
all right.
This.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Give it.
She's a call. She's like, you don't even know the address? Click.
Be like, well, I'm trying something different on this call.
Did she speak with Lane?
According to this, yes. Because he said, here's another one.
Okay.
And he said this guy just called him back and he couldn't answer because Lane's busy right now, but he's not too busy to text me.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
All right, if that doesn't answer, we're gonna give this other one, Jonathan, a
Wait, I'm
call.
gonna call her one more time. All right, so she's in California.
That's correct, brother.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
All right, I'm not gonna leave a voicemail on that one. What's the next one?
I will send it to you in the private chat.
Love it. So, guys, what I would do is if she did pick up and she's like, "Hello," I'd be like, "Hey, it's Nathan." This is where it sometimes having to sound like you're fumbling through it can actually work to your advantage because you sound really authentic and human. And it's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I've got a note here to call you. I know it. I believe it's about a property you're considering selling. I believe you had spoke with Lane." And she'd be like, "Oh, yeah. I spoke with Lane, yesterday, the other day." I'm like, "Got it. I'm so sorry. Can you remind me what was the address?" For whatever reason, it's not here in the notes in front of me.
Love it.
Right. And that's how you get, and you can play it off. And what do? You sound like a human being. You don't sound like a robot. And then,
you know what's funny about that, bro? That like robocalls are starting to try and do that. They're like, hello, and I'm like, you're a dang robot.
And then sometimes, kind of going with the corny jokes. I love a good laugh. So like sometimes I'll make stuff. I'll be like, yeah, we just got this new guy. Oh my gosh, the kid barely knows how to turn on the computer and he's not putting stuff in where it's supposed to be. Blah, blah, blah.
That's it.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with it.
You got a human on the other end. They can feel your energy, and this can be fun. It doesn't have to be scary.
So Jonathan just tried calling Lane.
That's what it says. Yeah, Jonathan just tried calling Lane, and he said he can.
All right. Do we know the property or?
Oh, of course.
You know what? Don't give it to me. Let's see if it works on this guy.
All right. Just say Lane couldn't pick up the phone because that's exactly what happened.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail.
Remember how we talked about that contact rate? Like really? Really just crushing it with the cell phone.
Yeah, man. Lane's out here watching live on Instagram. What you doing, Lane?
Lane's busy looking up fake numbers.
Hello?
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes.
Hey, it's Nathan. How you doing?
Good.
You had just tried calling Lane. I bet he's in the middle of something. He wasn't able to pick up.
I tried to call who?
Lane, you'd spoke with him about a property you were considering selling.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You filled out a form, right? About having a property that you're interested in selling.
Oh, online?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you guys give me like a week or so? I gotta figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's not a rush. What do you got going on?
Going through a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Is
Everybody keeps saying that, but I think it's gonna be a good thing.
well, I'm happy for you. Well, let me ask you, have you guys thought about maybe just kind of listing it and sort of going that route?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on because right now it's a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
So we have to go to courts and get it uncomplicated, and then we can go from there.
Are both of you on the same page with definitely wanting to sell it, at least, do you think? Or is that
she just recently signed it over to me, so it's going to take a couple of weeks for the public appraiser to realize that it's in my name.
okay? Got it. That makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what, this is my personal cell. I know Lane's also got your number, so chances are he might reach out to you with a text or something.
Okay.
We can definitely, pick up the conversation once things are, transferred and, you're able to kind of have a bit more of an in-depth discussion on it. One of the things, I don't know if it was explained to you at all, this is not like it's not a pushy sales call or anything. We've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of really, really great options that we can offer, but at the very least, even if we're not the perfect fit for you, we've been doing this for a long time. At the very least, we can usually at least point you in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm asking for a certain amount. I've talked to a couple of people and told them what my bottom dollar is, and they just said that there's no way that they could that any investor would ever be interested in the situation. So I'm just kind of doing my research beforehand.
Okay.
So whenever this goes down.
Okay. And what's the number that you need to get for it?
I just need to get 60 for it. I'm not trying to screw anybody else. I'm just trying to get myself back to even keel, and then I'm retired maybe, so I get a pretty good pension for the rest of my life. I just want to be able to get enough money for this house, sell everything, and then I'm probably going to move to Georgia and live with my fiance. And then once we got like 6 or 7 months of money saved up, then we're going to probably buy an RV or something.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. And now is the 60K the total purchase price for the house, or is it that's what you need in your pocket and there's like a mortgage and stuff that needs to get paid off also?
Oh no, there's a little bit of a mortgage, so I still owe 10,000 on it, so I'd be walking away with 50.
Okay. Got it. So, okay. Yeah. What I'll do is I can kind of keep that in the works here. One of the things that we also don't do is, Jonathan, I will never insult you with a low offer. If it's something that we're not able to do, again, I'll let you know. But like I said, at the very least, I can at least point you in the direction of the best option for you.
Okay.
So sorry, go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you short, but I'm kind of like, I was sleeping when you called.
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry about that.
I was gonna try to conk back out because my fiance is she's disabled, so I got to do a lot of up down up down up down.
Totally understand, Jonathan. Don't let me hold you up. And if we'll be in touch. We'll chat soon. And if for whatever reason, if circumstances change or you go a different route, or even if you look to sell the house to somebody else, that's totally okay. If there's anything that we can do to help you out, even if you have questions on paperwork or whatever, happy to help you in any way that I can.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Take care.
Good day.
Bye-bye. All right.
Sounds like there's quite a bit going on there.
One major mistake. I'm actually super annoyed with myself.
You didn't ask him if he had time to talk.
No. I don't care about that. So, no, I didn't set up a specific date for when to follow up. But the reason why is because it seemed like he didn't
This
have
one's
much
kind
faith
of
in himself.
Yeah, this
And you
one's a
could
little
also
iffy.
Tell from his tone, right? He's like, I don't really want to be on the phone right now. But
Bro, I don't think that guy's ever gonna really want to be on the phone with what's going on, you know.
yeah.
Sounds like he's going through some stuff.
He kind of, you could tell by his tone, he's like, he's a little bit short, right? He was very polite, but you could tell, like, look, if you say the wrong thing, he's going to be hanging up the phone. And so that's why, but at the same time, we still want to try to at least get a little bit more information. I wasn't trying to close him on this call. I wasn't trying to push too hard. I didn't go through like, hey, here's the expectations. We're going to have a 20-minute. Now is not the time or the place. If I tried to do that, I would have broken rapport with that seller, because he would have been like, dude, like, no, I'm not doing this whole thing right now.
Right. Now let's take a look really quick, just to kind of let you know, because my head, it was like, why is he wanting to sell to an investor? That was my thought. Like, why an investor? So I look his property. This is it. This is why. It's not like retail ready, in my opinion. It's probably got some damage. This might even be like a mobile. I think this is a mobile home, or a I call a lot of people get offended if you call it like a trailer. So I think it's a mobile home. But anyway, do you kind of see it, Nate? Like, it's not terrible, but it's not. Yeah.
And and going back to the conversation, so there's a few things that we kind of want to pull out. Like, is this something you actually want to sell? Is it something that you even can sell? Right. And did you guys notice I asked, like, hey, are you guys are you guys both on the same page with wanting to sell? Because he might want to sell, but she might not. Right. And if that's the case, it's like, okay, well, this is going to be.
It's all already listed too, by the way. I didn't even know.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know why he wouldn't say that. It says it's listed by John Lorenzo.
So, and again, that's all perfect stuff that I would ask on the next call with him. You know, hey, I know you've already got it listed, right? And did you guys notice he talked about every other investor, the price he wants? He was like, yeah, I've got a number that I need to be at. And he's like, every investor's told me, like, oh yeah, there's no way. Nope. Nobody's ever going to get close to that price. Whether that's true or not, how does he look at those other people? Right? Like, I'm not worried. So many people are worried, like, oh, I need to close him on this call, or he's going to sell it to somebody else. Do you think I'm worried at all about him selling it to one of those investors? Not a chance. The funny thing is, if he does sell it to an investor, I'm probably going to be at the same price or even lower than what those guys would be at. But he already wrote them off his list because of how they spoke to him. No one's ever going to be able to get that price. Guys, when have you sold anything in your life? It could have been a car on Craigslist. It could have been whatever, or maybe you could have even been the buyer if you went to go buy a car. Whatever. When did you ever have a conversation with somebody and whatever you said, you're like, hey, this is what I want. And they're like, you're crazy for wanting that. When did that ever make you feel good and feel like, oh, I want to keep talking to this person?
Yeah, you're like,
Vera's calling me back right now.
Yeah, let's talk to her.
Hey, Vera.
Who?
Vera?
No, you had the wrong number.
Are you sure? I think you've got a property that you were considering selling, right?
Latricia?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they just wrote down the wrong name. I apologize. That happens sometimes. Yeah, I was calling. I believe you had spoke with Lane about a property you're considering selling.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't recall the name, but maybe.
No. It sounds like you've been going through this for a little bit.
Well, I just looked into it. Yes.
Okay. Well, what I could do is I'd love to chat with you a little bit more about it. Ask a couple questions. It takes like 10, maybe 15 minutes. Real simple. Ask a little bit more about the property condition, things like that. and a little bit more about what you're looking to do. And then at the end of that, if it sounds like something to where we might be a good fit for you, great. We can talk a little bit more about what the next steps would look like. And if not, that's totally okay too. At the very least, been doing this for a while. I could probably at least help point you in the right direction.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And I'm sorry. So Vera obviously is the wrong name. I'm so sorry. What is your name?
Latricia.
Latricia. Okay. Vera was who I called right before. Thank you, Latricia. I apologize. So yeah, catch me up to speed a little bit. I know you'd filled out a form. So what's going on?
I'm just looking to see what the property could possibly sell for. And that's where as far as I've gotten.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. I don't know. What do I?
Yeah, no, oh, that's good. How's the condition? How, is there any work that any updates or anything that it could use?
I don't have any upgrades, but I'm the original owner.
Oh, nice. How long you been there for?
Actually, I rent the property and have been there almost 30 years.
Wow.
I mean, I've owned it almost 30 years.
Uh-huh.
It was new when I bought it.
Okay. Very nice. So you've owned it 30 years and there's tenants in it right now, it sounds like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. How have the tenants been in there for a little while?
They've been in there for 4 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So good tenants, I'm hoping.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, some people I chat with, they have nightmare tenants for 4+ years. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, poor thing.
No, my tenants are very, very conscientious, really good tenants. Never been late on their rent. It's only a mom, dad, and one child.
Oh, that's fantastic. Why not just, it sounds like you've got great, tenants in place. Sounds like the house is in good condition. Any reason, why not just keep renting it out?
I'm looking to pay off some debt that I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, let me ask,
I'm looking to pay off the debt, and because I had a bankruptcy a few years back, it's been discharged, but I just am having problem getting a loan for it. And anyway, just wanted to see what it could possibly go for.
Okay. No problem. I can definitely help you with that. Now, have you thought about, well, I guess, have the tenants shown any interest in potentially buying it from you?
No, I think that their credit is pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they're in a position to qualify.
Okay. Great renters, but maybe not the best buyers.
Yeah.
No problem there. Now, have you considered maybe just kind of listing the property with an agent and sort of going that route?
Not really. I'm just starting this process. So,
Okay. If you were to sell it, do you have an idea as to what timeline you'd like it to be on?
Well, I would like to have it done ASAP if I'm going to do it.
Okay. So like within 30 days?
That'd be good. That's great. 30, 60 days. Yeah.
Okay. Now do you have 1-year leases with the tenants?
No, it's just month to month.
Okay. So the tenants are month to month. Do they know at all that you're considering selling the property?
they know that I may start looking. Yes.
Okay. I mean, not a problem either way, just so that we, you know, we don't want to post a sign like, "Hey guys, did you know she was looking to sell that?" You know, because I know sometimes it can be a bit of a sensitive topic, especially if they've been there for a while. So I just want to make sure we're considerate to them. Do you know, would they want to stay in the property if they were able to?
I don't know. Maybe considering um what I'm renting it for is on the low end of what I could probably get.
Okay.
They were friends, so I probably could get another $1,000 a month. You see, I'm told.
Okay. What is it renting for right now?
I'm renting it for $2,100.
Okay. And you're thinking, you know, a more realistic number would be around 3.
That's
Okay.
what I'm told. that in my area, that's what they're going for.
Got it. Okay. Well, it sounds like that would make sense. And now, so you've owned it 30 years, no updates. Do you know how old the roof is on it?
30. It was brand new when I bought it.
Okay. So about 30 years, give or take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I've owned it since '97, so that's almost 30 years.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So almost 30 years. So we'd say probably needs a new roof would be a good guess.
It's one of those clay roofs, so I don't know.
Okay. There's no leaks or anything, are there?
No.
Okay. Good to know. How do you know how old the AC unit is?
I don't know. I've had it replaced once.
Okay.
But you know what? This is not a good time. I'm on my way to a graduation. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, because I don't want to interrupt that. Is there a good time tomorrow that you'd be available?
I work all day, so maybe Saturday morning.
Okay, Saturday morning. What time works for you? 10 a.m. You there, Latricia?
Yeah, there.
This Saturday, 10 a.m. sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's table this right now. Have fun at the graduation. Don't let me hold you up. And then I look forward to chatting with you Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks. Talk to you Saturday morning.
Thanks,
Take care.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bam. All right.
I got some constructive criticism for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Just curious, like the way I call, we all have different styles. I don't give a bump about the condition. Why are you going so in depth with it? Which is okay. Just give me, because for me, I want to know. My thought is, okay, why do you want to sell to investors? Why is that the first thing that you thought of? Right? She's in the very beginning, right? She hasn't done she doesn't even think about listing it yet. She's just like, I'm in the beginning process. So for me, it's like, okay, so yeah, like why this avenue? You want it done quick? That's what I'm more trying to understand the why a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
no,
going,
good
you're going
question.
condition.
Good question, because it's a little bit deceptive. One, it is good to have the you know, the detailed information, because when I chat with buyers, they do like to know that stuff. Like they want to know not
Right.
just, oh, does it need a, you know, they do like to know the age of the roof. But the real reason I ask the condition questions, the reason why I ask the amount that I do and in depth, it's to break up the real questions that I want to ask her. All right, because if you notice earlier in the conversation when I'm asking like, hey, you know, you've got tenants there, have they thought about buying it? You know, because initially she's like, yeah, I just want to know what I can get for it. And she said it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, what's been holding you back from listing it? Well, have the tenants, you know, would they want to buy it from you? Have you thought about like just listing it with an agent? And you could feel there's a tension of like, dude, I just want to get a number. Right. And so being able to break it up and ask about condition of the property, it splits that up, because if you notice, she started to go into more of a flow of like, okay, like this feels more normal, like we're getting somewhere. To where in the beginning, and to ask the harder questions, right? You could tell she was a bit distracted. I was almost going to ask her.
Yeah.
I would have normally asked her in the beginning, like, hey, it sounds like I caught you at a bad time. Sounds like I caught you in the middle of something. But she was the one that called me. Right. And sometimes it's good to clarify that midway through if they sound distracted.
Right. Yeah. If you're feeling some pushback, you want to call it out. Like, you don't want to just keep going. Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of what I felt. I felt like you were asking her and she was just like not interested, which was interesting. She just wants a number. So for me, like, I get what you're saying. You had more questions you wanted to ask her. For me, like, I just, my thought would be like, hey, look, I know you want to find out what you want to get for it, but you obviously have an idea, or I don't know yet, because I'm gonna have to go take a look at it really to get a good. That would be like my response is like, I have honestly, I'm no one, anybody that's gonna tell you where they'd be around, it's just gonna be like not very honest or true, because it all kind of depends on getting in there and looking at it, because there's tenants, it could be destroyed inside, there's so many different variables when they don't live there. So really the conversation for me is like, hey, this, I'm almost thinking like painless flipping right here is like, hey, look, let's just be real here. No one's going to know unless we go see it. And this is what I can do for you.
100%. And that's where, being able to ask the condition, having a little bit of that longer conversation is to be able to slowly build that rapport so that she opens up. Because guys, if you know, she was kind of holding back a little bit, right? Now, we were able to get some stuff out of her as far as motivation, right? Debt to pay off, bankruptcy a little while ago.
This is definitely someone that you would work with 100%. These tenants. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. But the motivation, it's a little deceptive. And guys, this is what most sellers sound like. In the beginning, it's like, they don't sound that motivated. Just because she didn't answer the phone, she's like, yeah, I need to like sell it today. And no, I just need a cash offer. Whatever you can do would be great. Just because the sellers don't say that, don't mean they're the right fit or they're not the right fit for us. We need to spend the time. It's not something that we can always do in a 10 to 15 minute conversation. This is a moment where I would want to understand more about, she wants to pay off debt, but why now? Why is it a must for her right now? She has amazing tenants. They're selling right, and she wants it done quick. Oh, she'd been thinking about it, right? How do you go from, they know I've been thinking about it, to, if we can close in 30 days, that'd be great. There's something there. There's something that happened. There's a switch. There's something she saw. There's a notice she got in the mail. There's something that made her decide, I need to make this happen now. And when we can get to that, that's when the deals happen. So, and the other thing, the one last thing I want to touch on is condition of the property, right? She doesn't really know much. It's kind of a can of worms.
She's not going to really know either.
We do things the painless way, right? So traditional wholesaling, okay, I'm going to do, a generic estimated rehab. I'm going to look at the square footage, the tenant, she hasn't done anything to it in 30 years, probably going to be at least a medium rehab. I'm just going to assume it's like 60K rehab or more, and then take that off, and then take the ARV and times by 70%. Oh my gosh, nothing would make this woman say no and get off the phone with you faster.
Right.
Painless flipping, what we do is, I'm not going to make the assumption, and I'm not going to use some generic formula to tell me if something's a deal in any market for any buyer across the entire US. No, it doesn't work that way. Real estate's hyper local. Every buyer's different. Every market is different. Right. And so what I'm going to want to do is, and also, it's just who am I? I'm just some guy on the phone where after a 15-minute conversation, I'm going to tell her why I'm offering $200,000 less than what she thought she could get for the property, right? Without seeing it or anything. No way. She's going to hang up or say, get lost, right? And she's not going to want to call me back if she changes her mind when she is ready to accept that kind of price. So what do I do instead? Well, I'm going to set the expectation, right? Now, we didn't even touch on price with her on that call.
And
that was one of those.
Really?
It could have, and again, I could have thrown it out there. Just, hey, did you have an idea as to, if you were to sell it, what you'd want to get for it? I could have thrown that out there, right? I didn't. Saturday when I chat with her, that's what I'll do. But I'm not going to make any assumptions. So I'm going to flip this the painless way to where I'm going to find buyers in this market that would be interested in this property. I'm going to have them go take a look. I'm going to have them tell me what they think the rehab is. I'm going to have them tell me what they're able to pay. And then from there, I'm not just some person on the phone giving her a random low price. It's no, here's the price that we're actually able to pay. And here's all the reasons why.
Right.
Right? Not just some, oh, the rehab came back higher than we thought. Right. And to be able to do that before we get it under contract. Guys, imagine if you were able to make offers before even getting them under contract. Or excuse me, imagine before you make the offer, having absolute certainty in what you could sell it for, right? Where you like, hey, I know this is the highest number that I can offer. I know what the buyers can pay. Makes negotiating a whole lot easier.
It does.
Right. And just to touch on the guys with the different markets and different buyers, just to prove my point, as far as every market's different, every buyer's different. The reason why I can't use a 70% formula is because with this property, let's take this exact house, 4-bed, 2.5 bath. It's in California. I can have one buyer who's looking to buy it, live in it, fix it up, and then sell it. We got a second buyer. He's looking to buy it. He's got his own crews that are going to fix it up and then sell it. I've got a third guy that's telling me I'm absolutely crazy, and the rehab's twice what I think it is. And it's because he listened to, one episode of Bigger Pockets and he got all premium subcontractor quotes. And guys, I love Bigger Pockets. I'm just kidding. All right. And then I've got a fourth guy to where not only does he have his own crews, but because he does so many flips, he buys materials in bulk at a discount, and he can do that same rehab for a fraction of the cost of any of the other guys. And that's not even including what if someone's analyzing the house as a rental? What if they're looking to use it as an Airbnb? What if they're looking to turn it into an assisted living facility? What if you get my point. The beautiful thing with real estate is there's so many things somebody can do with the property. So why would I use a generic, super conservative formula to where if something meets that formula, I'm missing out on so many deals, right? So we got to get on the phone with actual buyers and see what they specifically are able to pay.
Exactly. And and unless she just lowballs herself, which is not happening, and then you just lock it up because it's a deal. But that, again, if that's your strategy, good luck doing this business. So anyway, why would you continue to follow up with her? There's motivation involved. It's underlying. We can tell. We know this is someone we're going to work with. And if we go through the painless living process and it's not something she's open to, well, it's easy from that point. We built the trust. We can do an ovation. We can point her to someone that will list if she doesn't want to do novation with us. We can do creative. It doesn't matter. But anyway, that's cool, man. That was a great call. And
the one last note I just wanted to make was, guys, did you notice when setting I corrected my previous mistake. When setting up that next call, did you guys notice I said it like 3 or 4 times? Right? At first I was like, hey, what time works for you? And then I just chose for her. She was like, oh, Saturday. How about Saturday morning? I said, great. Saturday at 10 a.m. Does that work for you? She says, yes. I said, okay, great. Look forward to chatting with you at Saturday at 10 a.m. She goes, great. I'll chat with you then. And I said, great. Look forward to chatting Saturday morning, right? Say it 3 times to kind of ingrain that into their head of like, hey, this is the time.
You're obviously going to send her a text too. And I would even send her a calendar invite. That's what I would do.
And that's, I personally don't like doing that. It's like, and again, it's all personal preference on that, really. But I definitely agree. Yeah, 100%. That's what I would always do also, is right after getting off the phone, sending a text. Real simple. Hey, Latricia, great chatting with you on the phone. This is my personal cell. Look forward to chatting with you Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Right? And hitting that for a 4th time. So,
well, good job, brother. The one thing that I would say, just to wrap it up, is just it just seems like a lot of these people, like they have something else to be doing. So really, it's just like setting that expectation of like, hey, this is what it's going to take, which I know you did, but that's really important for everybody that's watching, guys. Maybe we're just getting like a generation of being more distracted, and like, even if they agree to something, so maybe check in every once in a while, be like, hey, I know these questions might be annoying, or it may be a lot, but this really helps me to know what we can do with you and how we can work with you. So Because I have sensed that a lot. Like when you're talking to people or I'm talking to people, they almost seem like, oh my gosh. And you're like, hey man, I ain't buying a toy for $1. I'm buying a home. I need to know some information. So anyway, I hope this call was helpful for everybody. We're coming at you. This is what we do. This is where I would say we're experts in. Obviously we can get better. How do you get better? Daily incremental practice. You get better every day. It's not like we're born great. We practice. So if you guys see this and you're like, man, I really like what these guys are doing, but I couldn't really navigate that call. I probably would have just thrown out a low ball offer, and I would have probably just had her say no and then hung up. Guys, it takes time. But if you want to work and help for us to help you convert your leads into deals, go to panelsflipping.com. It's a done for you service that helps people convert leads to deals that aren't even under contract.
If you think you can get that first part done of like, hey, I found Latricia. She said she's interested in a cash offer, right? And she's a qualified lead. And if you just want the whole rest of it done for you, check out painlessflipping.com. That's what we do.
Wonderful. All right, everybody. Peace out.
Later, guys.